Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about the Microgreens production planner. It's a Google Sheet document that I created that you can plug in your harvest date and work backwards, and you can figure out your farm schedule on a 10-day crop growing schedule. So picking a growing rack almost put an end to my microgreens farm before it even started. I was trying to decide on either 18-inch deep or 24-inch deep shelves. And I had a lot of questions because 1020 trays are approximately 10 by 20 inches. So I wasn't sure if I needed a 24-inch rack or shelf to hold that whole tray, or if it was okay to have 18 inches and just let it hang off the edge a little bit. One factor was that the 24-inch shelves were significantly more expensive, but I wasn't sure if it was worth the extra money. And there was already so many decisions that I had to make to that point that I actually just stopped pursuing microgreens for a while. And I think it was about 6 months or so until I picked it up again. And thankfully I did. Analysis Paralysis and the Paradox of Choice. No, that's not the next upcoming book in the Harry Potter series, but it was exactly what I was feeling at the time. There were so many options and choices and decisions to make that I ended up not making any decisions at all and not taking any action. The paradox of choice says that when we have more choices, we actually can get a greater result because we have so many things available to us. But the downside to that is that sometimes we don't take action because there's just decision fatigue and we don't end up doing anything at all. When you're just getting started with microgreens, it can be really tough because there's so many little decisions to make and there's so much information available. And if you are brave enough to hop into some of the open forums on social media, you get a lot of people telling you that's the wrong way to do it. Well, there really isn't a right way to grow microgreens. You just have to find a path that works for you. The truth is, you can get really good at growing microgreens really fast. If you think of a crop like tomatoes on a farm, you might grow them once a year. So over the course of 30 years, you might grow them 30 times, maybe more. However, with microgreens, our farm is turning over every single week. So we're actually getting 50 or more iterations every single year. So you can master growing microgreens in as little as a month or two. While it's easy to get good quickly, you can't get good if you never start. Make a choice to take action today, and you can use my planner to help you get there. Once you learn to grow microgreens, you can grow microgreens to feed yourself, feed your family and friends, feed your community, or start a business. But in order to get there, you need to narrow your focus and simplify, simplify, simplify. Using the production planner, we're going to start with 4 core crops and standardize everything to a 10-day growth schedule. We're going to remove any wasteful steps so that you can leverage your time and take control. If you use this planner and this farm schedule, you can have predictable outputs, you can have a predictable schedule, and you can have predictable weekly income if you choose to sell to chefs or in the manner that we recommend. So let's take a look at the Microgreens production planner. But first, just a quick overview. So you're always going to have 2 batches going at once. You'll have one that's in germination and then one that's under lights. And then every single week, the farm turns over completely. So on harvest day, the shelves with lights will be emptied. And then immediately you'll move some crops under germination or from germination to the lights. Using this schedule and that 10-day cycle with about 6 to 7 days under lights allows you to have the same planting day and the same harvest day every single week. So here's an overview of the planner before the weekdays are filled in. I said 4 crops earlier, but there's only 3 in the planner. I recommend starting with broccoli and then also the salad mix or the broccoli brassica blend from Mums, and then 1 radish and then speckled peas. Starting with those 4 crops, actually, those 4 make up quite a bit of my menu that I sell to chefs, and they're a good place to start to really get some experience. So the first step is to start with the end in mind. So you're going to fill in your harvest date, which in this case is day 10. I harvest on Mondays. Harvest and delivery are the most time consuming, so you want to plan your schedule around those activities and then work backwards for everything else. So now what we're going to do is from our harvest of Monday, we are going to just manually fill in backwards the days of the week. And then you can see that now gives us our planting day, which is day 0, which will be Friday. And that's exactly when I plant my crops. So that's it. Now you've got your planner filled out, and all you have to do is work through the tasks that are for each of those days. So what's next? So now you have a plan and a schedule to get started with microgreens. You have a couple crops that you can start with. Check out my resource guide for more specifics on how to plant those crops. But it's up to you if you want to use these microgreens for personal use, or if you are interested in starting a business. I primarily focus on helping people learn to grow and sell microgreens for chefs and restaurants. But if you check out my blog, I talk about push versus pull sales, and that applies to any type of sales channel. So feel free to schedule a strategy call, whether you want to email me or book through my website. I'm happy to help you assess your market to sell microgreens, as well as any potential growth spaces that you have in mind. Thanks for watching, and I hope that helped. Please enjoy the Microgreens production planner.